All right, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, peoples? Um, so if you guys don't know me, I go by Ricky, and I am creating this little short video to go over my trading steps. It's going to be uh, my 7 trading steps as far as my trading plan. Um, I've been helping out some people with kind of understanding and learning how to trade. The purpose of this video is to make like a short video for you guys to kind of go back and have. It's not going to be like a whole hour or 2 hours long, but I'm gonna chop it up. So this is gonna be video 1. So bear with me. I'm gonna try and make this as simple as possible. So here is the man, how do I make this one page? I'll do it like that. You're gonna be going over the 7 trading steps. All right, as you can see, this is my trading plan. I created this myself, of course with a little help from my mentor. But in this video, I'm just going to be going over step 1. All right, so I'll be reading off of this. You could pause the video, take a screenshot, or whatever floats your boat. All right, so step 1 is news, right? And in the plan it says, this step is filtering through the news to see the probabilities or possibilities of current effects or current events that's affecting the market. All right. So the first thing that I do is jump into Forex Factory. In here you can log in with your account. I'll save that for a whole nother day as far as setting up scanners and all of that good jazz. We're not really looking for the scanners and stuff like that, but you can also Google that as far as how to add scanners into your little Forex platform or Forex Factory platform. But calendars is what we're going to be looking for because we're looking for the news. So today is the 12th, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the 12th. With this this website, oh, you know what, hold on, I forgot to set my timer. I'm gonna try and do 30 minutes max. Hopefully I make it, because once I get to talking, I'll be going forever. All right, so with Forex Factory, you guys could kind of look that up, or just ask me, shoot me a message, and I could kind of explain it a little bit more as far as these folders and giving you the information. Or you could just go through it yourself or Google it. There's some good information out there. But I go on to Forex Factory and I'll see what is kind of important. And like with red folders, I don't look at the yellow folders. As you can see, there's no yellow folders on here. You can filter it yourself and take out the yellow folders. But so when I go in here and I see what's going to be going on for the week, as you can see, this is kind of a dead week. We did have Veterans Day, and then we got bank holidays and stuff like that going on. So it's not really much momentum, and actually the market is reflecting that too, because it's kind of just going sideways slash pullback, even though this happened this morning. But and that is because they just came to agreement with the government shutdown for the United States. But so you go in here and you look for what's important. Obviously I've been looking at gold, so there's no US news, so that gives me an idea that since it's nothing to push the USD, news could be going, the gold could be going up, so that's something that, for example, in this scenario is what I'm looking at. Another thing too, while I am trading either Tokyo or New York, I like to going to this website as well, livecharts.com.uk, and it kind of gives me an idea of a strength meter of what currency is strong right now. So for example, you have AUD USD is strong, and in the Forex calendar, we just had some AUD news yesterday before the market closed, right? So it could still be, affected right now. So that just kind of complements itself, because today is still Wednesday, but of course the market is the beginning of Tokyo, and a lot of people don't know. They think that New York is the beginning of the market day, but it's actually Tokyo. So that's why it's the 12th on my calendar at 8 p.m. I'm in Central Standard Time, and it's actually the 13th right now. And you can also set this website to be in your time zone as well. So that's just a little food for thought. So after I go in there and I see the currency meter, another website that I love and like to look on is the Scotia Bank. It gives me a lot of nuggets here. So going back to my strategy here, how strong is the US dollar? What correlated pairs complement these fundamentals? What is a list of events reports that can move the market? And then how can ChatGPT help simplify the verbiage in reports to help identify bearish or bullish markets, right? So in the using ChatGPT, what I do is I'll go here to market insights and go to global foreign exchange, right? And this gives me the reports, the daily reports of what's going on in the Forex market. So I'll click here. Hope my computer is not starting to lag, because it seems like it's moving kind of slow. So then it gives me this reports, right? What I really like about it is that it gives you ranges and numbers that you could kind of look for. And then I have another website too that I give that. And it also talks about like Fibonacci levels, if you guys use Fibonacci retracements, which is really dope. It talks about the support. A breakdown should see spot push lower to blah 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 XYZ. So this is coming from the banks, and the way that I trade, I trade like in conjunction, in correlation with the banks. Like I trade like how the banks trade, called smart money, right? So with them giving this information out, as a bank, it'd be wise and kind of smart if you mimic what they're doing, so you can kind of ride their wave. Talking about the inflation drop in 2026, like gives you a lot of good information. But some people, as a new trader, may not really know or understand how to kind of read this and analyze this information. So cheat code nowadays is go to Google Gemini. No thanks. I just found out there's the link right here. I guess I'll just do it the way that I do it. This is how I do it. I also have this. This is the one I have on my phone. It's free. You could pay for it if you want. But I use that one, and then this one has, where is it? Oh, it's not in here. And then pop up. Google Gemini. Yeah, I just seen this button pop up for the first time, so I'm gonna play with that. But it normally goes here, right? And then I'll just ask some Oh. Bullish, right? Boom. So this is what I do, and then the report that I just got from Scotiabank, I'll paste it. I think I still had, I think I got this little portion here. Copy, go back to the gem, paste it, enter. And it kind of just breaks it down. You know, US dollar is trading mixed to slightly firmer consolidation after slide earlier in the week. Like, you know, talks about the ADP with the job data. That's news from Forex Factory. And then, you know, tells you the key terms so that you can kind of understand what's going on when it talks about the 2% inflation, you know, and then it kind of summarizes all of the other pairs. So that could definitely give you, like, you know, dovish Fed. You know, it explains what mostly dovish, and one governor, you know, advocated a 50 BPS. I don't know if you'll understand what that means. You might have to Google it. But for the most part, it kind of breaks things down. Like, look how short this report was, you know. And then you can kind of, it asks you more questions. So like if you want to talk to it as your mentor, pretty much, you know, it can kind of give you like accurate information to help get an edge and understand what's going on in the market. You know, neutral, bearish, it just kind of speaks in layman's terms, you know, no disrespect, but it dumbs it down for you instead of kind of reading this and trying to understand the lingo as far as this report. So that's a big gem that I use when it comes to utilizing ChatGPT. So it's what correlated pairs complement these fundamentals. So after you go here and you get an understanding as you trade and as you go through the pairs with the different currencies, you'll understand what's correlated with, like, for example, CAD is correlated with oil. You know, US dollar is opposite of gold. So I'll go over here to my charts and I'll look at the DXY to kind of see what's going on. And in the bigger time frame, we have the daily, of course, is in like a uptrend, and it's coming down to this trend line. You know, now if it breaks that trend line and goes down, then I can, you know, it's safe to say that gold will be going up because the dollar is losing value. So when the dollar is losing value, then gold can go up because it's XAU USD, you know. And if the dollar is going up, it'll be safe to say that gold is going to be going down. So if that was confusing, that's another conversation for another day. Here to simplify it, if I have this going down, I'm gonna need, or I would assume or anticipate this to go up. All right, and vice versa. So as dollar gets stronger, it would push gold down, and dollar gets weaker, it would push gold up. So that's pretty much what I do for like correlations, as far as just getting another it's called confluences, which is multiple confirmations to kind of justify your forecast. So that's where the correlated pairs that complement the fundamental is the US dollar strong, and then the list of events for reports that move the market. I guess I got another nugget for you guys. Let's see if I could, boom, I throw this here. Alright, so you guys could screenshot that. I'm not too sure how it's showing up on the screen. I'll have to review the video. But this was something that I researched and typed up for you guys to kind of save you guys the work. My favorite of what has been very successful for me is the CPIs and the PPIs. Those reports kind of like they move the market. It happens every month of what I showed with the frequency of when the events happen. The NFP, you guys be careful with that. And just for understanding, I don't trade the news. I trade after the news, depending on what type of news is coming out. Because, you know, there's a guy, Mark Douglas, that you guys could look up. He wrote a couple of books, Trading in the Zone, and he got a couple of videos on YouTube too. Older guy, but what I've learned from him is that, you know, the market is gonna do what it does, do what it do, however you want to say it. Like, you just have to come to understanding that, you know, even if the reports reflect one thing, the market still could kind of be contradicting and do something else. You know, like for example, with the government shutdown, I was anticipating the dollar to kind of go down while the government shutdown was going on. It kind of makes sense that the government is shut down, you know, things are at halt, you know, debt is piling up, like people is not wanting to spend money, people is not going to work, people's getting laid off, people's getting fired. So, hey babe, it's a lot of mail. So people is getting fired. So you would assume that, you know, the dollar would be going down, but it's been going up. So, you know, make sure that thank you, babe. So make sure that your you know, your confluences are all aligned, and, you know, trade with care and utilize risk management. So that's just a side note. But here you guys go. Like I said, you can screenshot it. I put USD important news that's normally coming out, and this is actually for 2026. So of course things may change, things, you know, may go left or may go right depending on holidays and this, that, and the third. And like, for example, while the government shutdown was going on, the NFP report wasn't you know, reporting, pretty much. Like, they removed it from the Forex Factory calendar. So, you know, take that into consideration. And of course, don't take anything that I'm saying like for 100%. Like, yeah, I've been doing this for quite some time, you know, like from since 2015. I've had my ups and downs, but, you know, with me myself, I'm always a student to the game. I never tried to, you know, act like I know it all. Like, I'm always kind of, you know, looking to grow and looking to learn and, you know, trying to better myself. So you do the same. All right. But like I said, don't take what I say, do your research too, and whatever works for you could work for you, as long as it's making money and makes sense. But here's Euro, you know, GBP, JPY, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You know, global is kind of worldwide, all of that stuff that happens. So these are the news names that happen. This is something that you guys could utilize. I throw that in there for a little nugget. I think that kind of wraps up everything for this video. I got, you know, 14 minutes left. That's pretty good. I'll see how long the video is. So just to kind of recap, you know, this step was to kind of just filter out the news to kind of see the probabilities and possibilities of what could be happening in the market, and, you know, how can news affect the market. And, you know, we talked about the correlated pairs. We talked about the reports that I just showed you guys, and then we talked about ChatGPT. So this is pretty much what I do. The first step in the morning when I wake up, you know, most likely after I do like my morning routine, and I'm walking out the bedroom, I'll just jump on my phone and look at Forex Factory real quick, and, you know, see what folders is coming out. And honestly, most likely I do it the night before, or I'll just be looking at it throughout the week and I make notes for what news is coming out, so I already have it planned as a calendar. But whatever strategy works for you, especially if you're working your 9 to 5 until this can take over your 9 to 5. You have your routine, especially if you have kids. I get my daughter ready in the morning as well too. So wherever you fit in, get in where you fit in type deal. But that's pretty much it. Oh, let me hit you guys with some more nuggets. This is another website that I use, Action FX, and this website is pretty dope. It's kind of I do not want to accept any of that stuff. What the hell, All right, so this one is pretty dope because it kind of narrows down. So if you're favoriting a pair, or you're stalking a pair, or watching a pair, or it could be your wifey. This could be your favorite pair. Like I got a homeboy, Omar. Shout out Omar if he watched this video. But he was in love with USD JPY for, like, he probably still is. Like, that's his. Like, he just enjoys trading it. Maybe it's showing him love, could be. So if you want to jump into a specific pair, this gives you the report of that pair for the outlook, and it gives you the technical aspect of it and the fundamentals aspect of it too. And technicals is like the uptrend, the charts, and all of that, and the fundamentals is more of like the news and where they see it going. So I love how they also give levels, of where the market may be going, and what you could do to kind of, get those confluences is go back to the Scotiabank page and kind of see what they're talking about, if both of these websites is kind of like on the same level. Because if they're both shooting out the same numbers, then of course those levels is most likely really, really important. So that's another nugget for you guys. I think that's about it. FX Forex Live is just somewhere where I go for news and stuff like that, to look at gold reports. So kind of the same thing as the Scotiabank and the Action FX, but I mean, I use this occasionally here and there, like if I just want to be a nerd about it. But the Scotiabank is like my first go-to, and then Action FX is like my second go-to. But whatever catches you guys' eyes. But those are three major websites that you guys could use. I also have it's not on here, and I have this app on my phone. So like during the shutdown, they was sending me a bunch of alerts on my phone and stuff like that. I have a account with these guys too. It's free, so if you do want to stay up to what's going on, if you're trading options and or futures, and you want those headlines, this spits those headlines out for you. I've been using this for a long time too. They're pretty legit as well. So I think, like I said, I get to talking and I'll be talking forever, but that pretty much concludes this video. My computer started freezing up anyway. Look at this, then opened up too much stuff. I gotta clean this thing out. But yeah, man, you guys have any questions, just let me know. But I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. And short, sweet, and simple. And I will see you guys on step 2 for top-down analysis. Peace.